Let's say some prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadkamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Satam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वरम् हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वरम् Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining. So we are reading the last few verses. We are on the last 4 verses of Bhagavad Gita. So it's a very auspicious day. It's the last day of the year and we are finishing our almost 3 years or 3.5 years. I think 3.5 years long journey, right? We started in 2020, about March or April. We started April. So about 3.5 years journey of Bhagavad Gita reading. And, you know, of course, it was not just Bhagavad Gita. We were singing songs. We were learning the meanings of these Vaishnava bhajans. We were reciting verses, going deep into each and every verse. We were celebrating the special days of various acharyas, special festivals, all these Vaishnava appearance and disappearance days. And so many special classes we did, you know, Janmashtami, Nityanand Triyodashi, Ram Navami, Narsingh Chaturdashi, Deepavali, Kartik month, almost the whole month we are not able to read Bhagavad Gita because every time there is a special day. So Radha Ashtami appearance or Bahula Ashtami or Gopa Ashtami or Govardhan Leela, so many things. So many things we did, and it's been a very beautiful journey. I know, at least for me, I can say for myself that I had a very, very nourishing time. It was very, very, fruitful. Um, Reading each and every purport of Bhagavad Gita, writing its meanings and realizations, and listening to numerous lectures about each and every verse, and then clarifying the doubts with different people. So it's been a very, very um, deep, intense journey into self-realization for me. And I hope it's been like that for other people that have been, other devotees that have been joining us. A lot of things have happened over this time. But I think next session, next round that we do, we'll read Sri Ishopnishad, which is, like I described, only 18 mantras. And it's a devotee's prayers to Supreme Lord. Only 18 mantras. It shouldn't take very long. And after that, we'll go into Bhagavad Gita again. And this time, we'll maybe do a different style of reading Bhagavad Gita. It'll be, we'll discuss about that and see what everybody prefers. But maybe we can read the purports, Prabhupada's purports in the class, because I think everyone should read Prabhupada's purports. I know I've been reading them, and I encourage everyone to read them in every class, that everyone should go home and read, or before class they should read. But don't know how many people read it. So next time we'll start reading them in the class. And everyone can share their realizations and understanding, and then we sum it up. So we'll follow a different style next time. But let's, without further ado, let's continue and finish these last 4 verses. So we have to read verse 75. Remember that Sanjay is speaking now. So Sanjay has heard Bhagavad Gita from Krishna himself, as Krishna narrated it, sang it to Arjuna, sang it for Arjun's benefit and for our benefit. And Sanjay heard it, and Sanjay was narrating everything to Dhritarashtra. So both of them heard it. And Sanjay is feeling extremely, very, very excited. He's getting goosebumps. He's very ecstatic, and he cannot. He is saying the same words, repeating himself over and over again. He can't believe his good fortune that he got to hear this important discussion between such great personalities, the Supreme Lord himself and one of the greatest devotees and friends of the Lord. So he's feeling very, very enthusiastic. You can see the joy pouring out of him. He's, when you feel very ecstatic, you say things over and over again. So like that, he's saying things over and over again. So he's expressing his excitement, his joy at this good luck, this once in a lifetime experience to Dhritarashtra. So let's continue let's hear what he says more. So just to remind you, the last verse he said that Sanjay said, "Thus have I heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. And so wonderful is this message that my hair is standing on end." He said, "I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting Rom Harshan by hearing this conversation. Oh, what is this beautiful message have I heard? What is this great conversation between two great Mahapurushas, Krishna and Arjuna, that I've heard? This is so amazing." So let's see what he hears next, what he says next. And every time I try to go deep into the Sanskrit also. I encourage everybody to understand the Sanskrit words also. Please try to understand the Sanskrit words. It increases your understanding of Bhagavad Gita. I know Prabhupada has given us the synonyms, but the words are not very hard to understand if you really follow them closely. So let's recite 18.75. Please follow after me. व्यासा प्रसादात् श्रुत्वान् एतद् गुह्यम् अहं परम् योगं योगेश्वरात् कृष्णात् साक्षात् कथयत स्वयं Translation, anyone wants to read?
Okay, Mataji, I will read.
Yes, Prabhu.
By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna.
Very bold. So let's look at this verse closely. Okay. So Sanjay is saying Vyasa Prasadaj. That's why I want you to, it makes it easy to memorize the verses also if you try to understand the Sanskrit a little. Vyasa Prasadaj. So prasad always means mercy, right? When we eat prasad, it's not only prasad that you eat. That is also mercy of the Lord, the prasad that you eat. But also everything that we do, whether it's any services that we do, whether things happen in our life, whether we get any instructions, whatever we do and get from Krishna, everything is Krishna's prasad. So everything should be treated as his prasad. It's a great mercy. So here is saying Vyasa prasadat, meaning by mercy of Vyasa, Shrutvan, I have heard this. Guhyam. Guhyam means confidential. Param, most confidential, supremely confidential message. Okay, I've heard this most confidential, supremely confidential talks, conversation. Between who? Between the Yogeshwar, master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking to Arjuna. So he said yoga means mysticism. Here it is translated as mysticism. Basically, it means somebody who knows the supreme yoga, the bhakti yoga, somebody who knows the dharma, that Ishwar, that master, that supreme controller, from him, from that Krishna, I've heard this supremely confidential message. Who spoke it sakshat, like in person, to Kathayata Swayam, who himself personally spoke it directly to Arjuna, to that, from that confidential talks I have heard. So he says, by whose mercy? By mercy of Vyasadeva. So here Vyasadeva is basically the teacher, or the, you can say, master, spiritual master of Sanjay, because Vyasadeva gave this vision, this spiritual vision, this divine vision by which Sanjay was able to hear this message. So it's the mercy of Vyasadeva by which this message has been heard by me, this most confidential, Guhyam Param message spoken personally, Sakshat Kathayata, by master of yoga, Krishna. So in this way, our acharyas describe this point very, very importantly. This is a very important point, that you can approach Krishna directly. You can also hear this message directly, just like Sanjay heard this message directly from Krishna. You can also hear Bhagavad Gita as it is, as spoken by Krishna. You can also hear it through a teacher. So you should also approach Krishna through a guru, through a spiritual master, through a teacher, because by their mercy, Krishna becomes accessible to you. So Arjun was a direct, very intimate, very close associate of Krishna. He's not an ordinary living entity. He's a Nitya Siddh devotee of the Lord. Okay, he participates eternally in the pastimes of the Lord. So his situation is different from us, from ordinary jivas like us. Okay, so he is approaching Krishna directly, okay, by Krishna's mercy. But for us to approach Krishna, we have to approach Krishna through a guru, just like Sanjay approached Krishna, because we are in the same position as Sanjay or Dhritarashtra, right? We are in those two shoes. So for us, we have to follow their footsteps and approach Krishna like they did through Vyasadeva. Ask the spiritual teacher to give you the experience of Krishna, the instructions of Krishna, understand the opinions, the promises of Krishna. That's what Bhagavad Gita is full of. Bhagavad Gita is full of Krishna's instructions, Krishna's promises. Krishna keeps saying that this is my opinion, this is my matam. Okay, he gives his opinions. All those things we can understand through a teacher. Like this Bhagavad Gita, we are understanding through the mercy of Prabhupada. Now, somebody can say, does that mean that Krishna will not reveal himself directly to me? That that the Guru will get the experience of Krishna, Guru will get the realizations from Krishna, Guru will get the emotional exchanges and reciprocations from Krishna. So that's not true. You're approaching Krishna indirectly through Guru, but your experience, your realizations, your reciprocations, your emotional exchanges or relationship with Krishna will be direct. So whatever you feel, whatever you understand, whatever the things happen in your life, they will be directly arranged by Krishna. So they are not caused by Guru, and they are not happening through Guru. Guru will help you achieve Krishna, but then Krishna will directly participate in your life and reveal himself directly to you. So your experiences will be direct, but you have to approach Krishna, you have to understand him through somebody who has already understood him. So those people that have already understood him, they are called Tattvadarshi, they are Tattvajnani, they are the Tattvadarshana, right? Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, Krishna said that we should approach me humbly, submissively through a guru. He says, Tadvidi pranipatein pariprashnen sevaya updekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana. Those Tattvadarshi Jnani people that have already understood me, understood the absolute truth, understood everything, you should approach them, serve them submissively, and ask them questions directly. And they will help you achieve the absolute truth. Absolute truth is none other than Krishna. So, इसी तरीके से there are so many other verses also where Krishna says that, everybody's circulating in this material world, but only but only the fortunate people get a guru, and guru helps them to achieve Krishna. Brahman Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasad Pai Bhagyalata Jiva Bhaktilata Jiva. So they get bhakti through the prasad of Guru. So if we plug ourselves into the right channel, into the right electric wire, then we get the current, then we get the electrocution. So just say Sanjay is feeling this electrocution, right? Sanjay is feeling the goosebumps. How do you feel the goosebumps? How do you get that Rom Harshan, that ecstasy? How does that ecstasy come? If you also plug yourself into the right channel. अगर हमने ऐसे plug में अपने आप को लगाया है, we plug ourselves into a channel which does not work, where there is no electricity, then what will happen? The bulb will never light up. So for your bulb to light up, the electrocution to happen, right? For you to feel the current, you have to plug yourself into a channel where electricity is flowing. Then the Rom Harshan, this goosebumps, this electricity will happen. The bulb of knowledge will light up. So right now we are this jiva, like the spirit soul, this jivatma right now is living in a very dark place, very dark dungeon, okay, in this body, which is a very dark place. But how will the bulb inside this place light up? How will this place light up? If you connect yourself into the electric channel of the right gurus, the right sampradaya, the right disciplic succession, the Guru Shishya Sampradaya, then you don't have to make as many effort. So it is said that the disciplic succession is a descending process. The knowledge flows from Krishna to Brahmaji, from Brahmaji to Narad Muni, from Narad Muni down a line of gurus, a line of acharyas, and comes to us. So anything to fall down, to come down, descend down is easy and it's effortless as compared to if we were trying to climb ourselves up to Krishna. So climbing up to Krishna is hard, but mercy flows downwards. Mercy always flows downwards. And so for us to receive mercy that is flowing downwards is the easiest process. It's less effort. It's like Guru will directly spoon feed you. But there is effort needed. Effort needed is that we have to pray for the right Guru to come into our life. We have to pray for us to get Guru and Krishna's mercy. We have to pray that may we can get connected into the right channels. May we not get connected into the wrong authentic, unauthentic, unauthorized channels. So we should pray that we get a qualified, bona fide spiritual master in our life. So for that, we should pray, we should attend classes, we should chant the names of the Lord, we should do deity worship. And this is a lifelong process. So this is this is the process, this is the journey, and this is the goal. This is why Vyasadeva is so celebrated in our culture, because Vyasadev's mercy is why we are getting this literature. Vyasadeva compiled Bhagavad Gita, he compiled Mahabharata, he gave the vision to Sanjay and Dhritarashtra so they could hear. That's why the asan on which a teacher sits when we give classes, that's called Vyasasan. I hope you all knew that कि जिस पे हम बैठते हैं जब हम classes करते हैं, when we do spiritual discourses, the teacher that teaches the class sits on an asan or a chair which is called Vyasasan. So we celebrate Vyasadeva because that asan is representative of Vyasadeva. So we have to be very careful in upholding that Vyasasan. That's why when it's the appearance day of our teacher, we call it Vyasa Puja, because everything, the teacher is representative of Vyasadeva. So we celebrate the Vyas Puja of our Guru Maharaj, which basically means that he is a representative of Vyasadeva. Just like Vyasadeva gave the vision to Sanjay, similarly, we are getting the vision from our teacher, who is a representative of Vyasadeva. So this is the understanding of this verse, that by Vyasadev's mercy, Sanjay heard this most memorable, most confidential conversation. Any questions about this or any other understanding anyone wants to share? The position of Vyasadeva in our Vedic culture is very, very glorious, very, very important.
I have one question, Mataji. So you told it has been, the Gita has been told by Krishna to Arjuna, and then it has been flown down and we are getting from different gurus, right? Different acharya and then gurus. And so we always see like masses getting distorted, like when it passes from so many channels. So in this situation, okay, the different guru have different interpretation. I know Prabhuji has given us Gita as it is, we are reading as it is, but different gurus and different interpretations. So when we should understand and we got the guru and correct guru, how we know that we are near the correct guru?
Yes, Prabhuji, very nice question. So this is a very common question. that you asked, very important also, because it is very important to identify the right guru. It is very important to identify that we are getting the message as Krishna intended to give it to Arjun, right? That's the point. We have to get the message exactly as Krishna intended to give it to Arjun. So I always say this, and this is what I've heard. The um, proof of pudding lies in eating it. Okay. So, for example, we are reading Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. So you have to see, has it helped anyone? Has anybody's heart? Because the goal of reading Bhagavad Gita is that self-realization needs to happen. Transformation of heart needs to happen. Some changes in the life, some changes, the hankering for Krishna needs to come, right? We know that Krishna wants us to come back to him. So we need to go back to Godhead. So this hankering needs to start. The detachment from material world needs to start. And attachment to Krishna needs to happen. Those are the goals of Bhagavad Gita. That everybody knows. That's a universal truth. That we are seekers of absolute truth. We want to go back to Godhead. We want to get liberated. We don't want to be stuck in this body anymore. We want to detach from this material world, and we want to attach to the supreme, to the divine. We want to decrease our desires of enjoying in this material world. So you have to see, by reading this Bhagavad Gita, is that happening to me or not? Is that transformation happening in my heart or not? So it is a matter of your internals. Are my internals changing by hearing this message or not? Is this guru giving me Krishna or not? Are they serving themselves or are they serving Krishna? Do they say, I am the guru, I'm the supreme lord, pray to me, worship me? Are they saying that, or are they saying worship to Krishna? He is the supreme lord, he's the supreme teacher, he's the Jagat Guru, he's somebody you need to surrender to? Are they giving that message, or are they saying, no, you worship to me, um you surrender your are they basically connecting you to Krishna or not? That is the point. So with Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, with Bhagavad Gita as it is, Prabhupada has filled it with Krishna. Prabhupada has given Krishna so much that there is no way to miss this core message that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada is not saying, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, come to me. He's saying we have to go back to Godhead. We have to go back to Krishna. So is that the message being conveyed? Are we saying we have to become Lord of this world, or are we saying we have to become servant of this world? Servant of the servant of the servant of everybody else and of Krishna. So if that's the message, then that's a very bona fide message. That's the message that Krishna wants us to get. And this is what, most of the disciples of Prabhupada, when they started reading Bhagavad Gita, all their bad habits went away, their bad qualities went away, all their bad addictions went away, their life transformed. They completely surrendered their lives to Krishna, to service. From enjoyer mentality, from bhoga mentality, they went completely to yoga. They became so austere, so detached. So that's the proof. That's the proof that this is the correct message. And so that's why I think that if you start reading, if you start following the process, Krishna gives the mercy himself. So Guru connects you to Krishna, but Krishna also connects you to Guru. So if you pray intensely to Krishna that please help me find the right Guru, that Krishna helps you find you to the right Guru. If you don't pray intensely, if you want to be cheated, then you will be cheated. So that's why it is said that this world is a world of cheaters and cheated. So if we are, cheating ourselves, we are trying to cheat Krishna, then we will also get cheated. So we'll also get fake gurus, bogus, bogus, Bhagavad Gitas that do not connect us to Krishna at all. But if you are getting connected to Krishna, if changes are happening, if your life is changing, you are able to incorporate these changes, chanting Harinam, your inclination to read Bhagavad Gita, to hear Hari Katha increases more and more. You want to hear and read more and more. Then that is the proof. So that's my understanding, Prabhuji. I hope that answers.
Yeah, thanks, Mataji. Yeah, that's answer to yes, to an extent. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so so Guru. So this basically this verse is saying that Guru gives us access to this knowledge, and we can also hear this knowledge directly, like Arjun did, like Sanjay did. We can hear this conversation directly, just like Arjuna, just like Sanjay. And he was given access by Vyasadeva. So we should also pray really intensely for a bona fide, qualified spiritual master who comes in the authentic sampradayas that keep Bhagwan, Krishna, or Lord in the center, and work towards his service rather than your own enjoyment, or people that are keeping you engaged and engrossed in this world, that cannot be the right path. That's the benchmark to understand. Let's read the next one, 18.76. So you will see Sanjay's ecstasy is coming out of his body. He's so ecstatic. Let's read this one. Rajan samsmritya samsmritya. Rajan samsmritya samsmritya. Samvadam imam adbhutam. Samvadam imam adbhutam. Keshava Arjunayo Punyam. Keshava Arjunayo Punyam.
Punyam
Rishyami cha muhurmuhu.
Rishyami cha muhurmuhum.
Anyone wants to read the translation? Shravani Mataji, are you available? You want to read?
Yeah. Yes. O King, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between the Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment.
Haribol. Thank you, Mataji, for reading.
Haribol.
So look at this verse. He's saying, Rajan, O king. So here he's referring to Dhritarashtra. Samsmritya, samsmritya. So he's saying, by remembering this over and over again, by recalling this repeatedly, basically, by recalling this repeatedly, remembering this over and over again. Samvadam, this conversation, imam adbhutam, this very wonderful, very wondrous, very fantastic conversation, samvad, Keshava Arjunayo Punyam, between Keshava and Arjun. Rishyami cha muhurmur. Rishyami means I'm feeling very intense thrill and pleasure. I'm feeling this thrill, muhurmuhu, again and again, repeatedly. So he's saying muhurmuhu, again and again. By remembering this again and again, I'm feeling thrill again and again. So he's heard this conversation, but he can't stop thinking about it. He's thinking about it over and over again and feeling this thrill keeps coming back to him over and over again. So this is again the proof. This is again the proof to, like Prabhuji was asking before, if you follow a process, if you follow, if you read Bhagavad Gita, if you hear Harikatha, if you read Harikatha, if you chant the names and you start feeling this type of thrill, this type of ecstasy, you start feeling, you want to remember things that have been told to you over and over again. Like I was telling you last class, that you will get those moments if you go deep into this study of Prabhupada's books. Actually, Prabhupada has, just like Krishna, Prabhupada has completely revealed Krishna in his books. He has completely, Vedic scriptures are so beautiful. They tell everything about Krishna, his names, his thousands of names, his thousands of pastimes, thousands of associates, various exchanges with them, numerous qualities of Krishna, everything about his abode, what he does there, what he does at different times of the day. Everything is revealed completely. It's not like some obscure god that's just sitting up there. We don't know what he looks like, what his names are. We don't know what he wears, what he likes to do, what his qualities are, what are his favorite things. And, he's a person, he's a supreme person, actually. So just like we have our own, exchanges, our relationships, he has his very deep, intense exchanges and relationships. And Prabhupada has revealed us everything in these books. Everything is given there. And so when you start reading this and go deep into this ocean of Harikatha, you will start getting the pearls. जैसे ocean में deep dive मारते हैं तो pearls मिलते हैं. You will start getting those pearls. And then you will keep going deep and deep. You will keep going again and again to get more and more pearls. This is what this Sanjay is doing, because he felt this bulb light up. So now he is, he's suddenly जैसे आंखें चुंधिया जाती हैं, चकाचौंध रोशनी से. So he's suddenly everything is lighted up. Suddenly the dark, damp dungeon place has become completely lighted up, and he can see everything clearly, and his eyes are completely, lit up with thrill and joy of what he has heard and what he has seen. Similarly, you go deep and deep into this ocean, you keep getting pearls and pearls out, and so many jewels come out. Oh wow, what is this? I never knew that this existed and that existed. Oh, Krishna is like this. This is what he did with this devotee. This is how things happened. So many things will be revealed, and those this repeated, hearing and remembering of Harikatha, this repeated chantings of holy name over and over following this process brings so much joy, more and more, repeated joy. So it's not like joy is one time. It's not like ki laddu kha liya, thodi der theek laga, and then it's gone. No, it keeps coming back. The joy and thrill will keep coming back. And the deeper the person goes into this, Krishna reveals more and more. So the more effort we put in, more we get, more Krishna reveals himself. And more realizations come, more reciprocations come, more bulbs light up, more jewels and treasures come out of the ocean. And then you feel this Rom Harshan, this goosebumps, this thrill over and over again, repeated thrill. So this is what Sanjay is feeling. This samsmritya. So samsmritya means to remember. This is the process of smarnam. That's why it is said when you hear Harikatha, when you read Harikatha, don't just do it as a hobby or as a one thing we do on a Sunday morning. No, do it over and over again. If you want to feel this joy, then keep remembering it. Chew on it. Keep chewing on it so that the nectar will keep coming out over and over again. Just chew karte, when you chew on something, then the nectar still keeps coming out of it. So if something so mundane as a chewing gum or sugar cane can keep giving you nectar when you chew on it, imagine Hari Katha, imagine Hari Naam, imagine Naam, Roop, Gun, Leela of Hari. If you chew on it, if you meditate on it, if you smaran it over and over again, how much nectar will come out on a daily basis? And nectar pours out so much that you can't contain it. Then you want to tell people about it, then it will come out of you. You want to share it with other people, you want to write about it, you want to write songs about it, you want to compose poems about it. That's how our acharyas write so many songs and poems and so much literature, because this nectar, this joy, this realization, this pouring out of them, and they want to keep sharing this more and more through different channels. So sometimes they are making dramas, they are writing stories, they are writing songs, they are writing poems, they are writing new and new verses, because to glorify the Lord, because more and more is pouring out of them. तो जितना घड़ा भरता जाएगा उतना वो pour out करेगा. So it's up to you. You can keep chewing on it, and more nectar will keep coming out of it. So that's what Hari Katha. That's how you relish Hari Katha. So Hari Katha is not like one time laddu, you consume it and it's gone and done with. No, it's something you chew on it, ruminate on it, and the nectar will keep coming out of it. So chew on this knowledge, and more realizations will come, more thrill, more joy will come. But if we don't practice this smarnam, जैसे हमने एक बार किया, time pass, some cultural thing, some because okay, other people are coming, let me also see what's a very loosey goosey. Then it's very superficial. Then you will be on the surface. Just ocean, if you swim on the surface, you just get weeds and seaweeds, and you're like, this is not helping much. No, go deep, go deep. Hold the hands of other devotees and go deep. Let deep dive karo. Okay, they have the equipment, they can take you deep down where all the treasures are. So because otherwise what happens, we are so mundane, we are so consumed in this world. Even if the bulb lights up when we are hearing or reading Harikatha, even if the bulb lights up, slowly with the engagement with material world, the bulb dims again, it fades off again. So if you want to keep it lighted up, then keep it connected into the plug, then keep doing this over and over again every day, and ruminate on it, remember it. Smarnam is, that's why Smarnam is a tangible process of devotional service. Actually, there are 9 limbs of devotional service: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. So Smaranam is the process. And does anyone know who and you can perfect your life by following just one process. Even if you follow one process to perfection, you can perfect your life. So just say Shravanam was followed by Parikshit Maharaj to perfection, and he perfected his life. He achieved absolute truth, perfection of his life, by just following one process of Shravanam perfectly. Kirtanam was followed by Shukdev Goswami perfectly. Does anyone know who did Vishnu Smarnam perfectly so that they perfected their life? Prahlad Maharaj, the reciter of this verse. Shravanam Kirtanam Smaranam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhakteshchinnavalakshana Kriyet Bhagavate Adha Tadapi adhruvam arthadam. So he said to Hiranyakashipu that these are the 9 limbs of devotional service, and he perfected his own life by constantly remembering the Lord. So this is how we have to remember. And more we try to remember, the more we will be able to remember. Just say, for example, Haridas Thakur. I don't know if you're familiar with Haridas Thakur. He's Naam Acharya. He used to chant 192 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. So even when he's not chanting, on the beats, his mouth is still chanting, right? He's so used to chanting the names that he cannot stop chanting. So similarly, if we hear and read more and more and chant the names more and more and practice it more and more, try to remember more and more, then the remembrance will become easier. Krishna's picture that is very obscure, very faded right now, it will become more and more clear. The pieces of puzzle will fit, and the picture will become clear and clear. So then we feel ecstasy again and again, thrill every moment again and again. तो बार बार अगर thrill feel करना है तो उसको बार बार keep relishing this nectar in your head, in your mind, in your heart over and over again. So this is what Sanjay is feeling. He's feeling more joy as he remembers this. There is another beautiful verse where this word is used, samsmritya. That's said by Queen Draupadi, Mother Draupadi. She says that pratigya tav govinda name bhakta pranashyati iti samsmritya pranan sandharamyaham. So she says that Govinda, you have taken this pratigya, this vow that my devotee never perishes. So she's saying Krishna's own words back to him. This is a verse from Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, where Krishna says that my devotee never perishes. And she's saying those words back to him. And she's saying, iti samsmritya. By remembering those words over and over again, I'm able to maintain my life. Pranan sandharamyaham. I'm able to maintain my life here by remembering your promise, your words that my devotee never perishes. Iti samsmritya pranan sandharamyaham. Pratigya govinda name bhakta pranashyati. So in this way, we can also remember over and over again this Bhagavad Gita. This Bhagavad Gita is not a Sunday morning thing. This Bhagavad Gita is a daily thing. Over and over, you remember Krishna's promises, Krishna's instructions, his opinions, his heart that he has revealed to you. Everything. Remember Bhagavad Gita over and over again. That's why we encourage everyone to learn Bhagavad Gita verses so that when time comes, they can remember, they can say Krishna's words to themselves to increase their faith. So जब भी कोई मुश्किल का time आए, not only मुश्किल का time, on a day-to-day basis, you can say these verses to yourself to keep yourself connected with Krishna. I mean, Mother Draupadi did it, and she's so close to Krishna. She's an intimate associate of Krishna. She's most wonderful friend and devotee of the Lord, and she is remembering Krishna's words. So why shouldn't we? So try to follow in the footsteps of Sanjay and try to do smarnam as much as possible. Samsmritya. And then we feel the thrill, rishyami muhur muhur. Fir rishyami hoga muhur muhur. The reason we're not able to feel the thrill, muhur muhur, is because we are not samsmritya. So when you do samsmritya, then rishyami muhur muhur happens. Anyone has any more realizations on this? Neelveni Mataji, Mama, Sunita, Bua, anybody? Amrendra Prabhu, any more questions? That's why it said, spiritual joy is not like material joy. Material joy is very temporary, but spiritual joy runs much deeper. It's everlasting and ever increasing. You can see in case of Sanjay, it's ever increasing. The Bhagavad Gita class has finished for him, but he's still feeling the joy over and over again.
Yes, repeating the things gives us a joy and more involvement in the thing. If we keep on doing it again and again, it relishes. And really, while you're sleeping, when you get up, those verses come into your mind, in the back of your mind. And once they come in your back of mind, then it becomes a part of your life. Thank you so much. Harira.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, so yeah, whenever we are given something, some service, something to do, we should take it up intensely, whether it's chanting, whether it's reading, and then relish it over and over again. Krishna's names, forms, qualities, pastimes, they're non-different from Krishna. So whenever we think of these things over and over again, we are actually directly associating with Krishna. And so the joy comes from Krishna. He's the source of all joy, right? He's source of all bliss. So all these things are non-different from Krishna. And when you relish them more, then you become addicted. That's why this is the higher taste. So that's why those lower addictions go away. So Prabhupada was able to get rid of these people's lower addictions of LSD, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and whatnot, illicit sex, and so many things. Why? Because he gave them higher taste of Krishna. All these things are higher taste because they connect us directly to Krishna. And Krishna is the biggest, strongest, only addiction to be had. Okay, we'll go to the last two verses. Okay, we have some time, so I'm going to try to go through these two verses. 18.77. So he's saying the same thing again. Look at this. So excited. Sanjay is so excited. It's amazing. He cannot control his excitement. Look at this. Relish this verse. Please read and relish this. These verses are amazing. Taccha samsmritya samsmritya. Taccha samsmritya samsmritya. Rupam adi adbhutam hare. Rupam adi adbhutam hare. Vismayo me mahan rajan. Vismayo me
Ayo me
mahan
mahan
rajan.
rajam.
Rishyami cha punah punah. Rishyami cha
Shyami cha
punah
punah
punah.
punah.
Anyone wants to read this?
Yes, I can read.
Yes, please.
O King, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder. This is not same. With wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again.
Hari bol. So amazing. Look at this verse. He's saying, so before he was saying that samsmritya, what? What was he remembering again and again? The conversation, right? So look at this. He said, Samvadam imam adbhutam. By remembering this adbhut, samvad, this wonderful conversation, I am feeling the thrill muhurmuhu again and again. Now, what is he remembering other than conversation? Samsmritya, what? Rupam adi adbhutam. Hare. Hari ka adbhut roop. Ati adbhut roop. Rupam ati adbhutam hare. That I'm remembering this very wonderful, very fantastic, very amazing form, beautiful form of Hari, of remembering his roop, his form. I am feeling rishyami or thrill. Punah, punah. Punah, punah. Murmu or punah, punah. Repeatedly. So again, same thing he's saying. But before he was relishing the conversation, now he is also remembering the wonderful form of the Lord. So this is very important actually. And this is stressed by Prabhupada more and more. That's again, we see how a true, bona fide, qualified spiritual master who's coming directly in the line of Krishna, who is conveying Bhagavad Gita as it is, has stressed so much on the form of Krishna over and over again. Krishna is not some like impersonal darkness or light or nothingness or voidism, something that you just merge into. Krishna has a beautiful, adbhut form that we all need to relish, and we can relish it just as much as Sanjay did, just as much as Arjuna did, and just as much as all the other people that existed in that, Gopis, Gopas, Mother Yashoda, and Nand Maharaj, and Devaki and Vasudev, everybody did. But so were the other people there at that time. There was Duryodhan, and there was Dhritarashtra and these other people. We can choose to be blind to the form of Krishna and just say, no, he's a blankness, he's a darkness, he's black, a blackness, or something that we just merge into voidism, nullify your existence, stuff like that. But that is all bogus, and that's what Prabhupada has hammered on from the very first verse, that Krishna has a wonderful form, and only people that are true devotees of the Lord can relish that form. So all this new agey modern stuff of these gurus that are not speaking from the scriptures, they cannot understand the form of Krishna. You have to, they don't even have a qualified guru, and very very forcefully they will say, I have never read Bhagavad Gita. Then why are you talking about Krishna if you have never read Bhagavad Gita? Why are you talking about scriptures if you have never read scriptures? How can you be a maths teacher and have never studied maths? No, we do not accept such teachers. So we have to accept a teacher who's giving us this wonderful form of Krishna, because we want to enjoy Bhagavad Gita. We want to understand Krishna, enjoy with Krishna, just like Sanjay did, just like gopis did, and gopas did, and Arjun did, and Pandavas did. Not like Dhritarashtra, who could not see his form. So that's why Prabhupada has hammered again and again that these people that are not giving you the form of Krishna are not only bogus but actually demoniac, because they're keeping you away from this beautiful form of Krishna. That's why Prabhupada set all these temples everywhere where there is beautiful forms, the deities of Radha and Krishna. He said, make your home a temple and establish deities in your own home. And go to the homes of Krishna, go to all the dhams and visit Krishna in his homes. So he gave us this wonderful form of Krishna. Brahmaji himself mentions a form of Krishna. He says, Ishvara Parma Krishna Satchidanand Vigraha. Vigraha means form, Satchidanand form. Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He's not saying some obscure person. He's saying Krishna and Govinda in the same verse, who has a Satchidanand form. And we want to relish that form. So it's very bogus to say that, oh, I have a form, I have a hand and ears and nose and mouth and hair, but Krishna does not. The source of all sources, and he's the cause of all causes. He's the cause of my form, but he does not have a form. He's formless. No, he has a beautiful form, and he engages in these beautiful, wonderful relationships. He's a personal God. He will enter into your life, and he will completely invade your life and completely participate and cause changes, do things with you, only if you have the eyes to see what is going on. So just like, Sanjay saw this beautiful, he saw the universal form. Arjuna saw the universal form. Arjuna also saw the two-handed form. Sanjay then also saw the two-handed form. He said, this is all so beautiful, and I'm remembering this over and over again. I'm getting this darshan over and over again. So this is the darshan of the Lord. So Bhagavad Gita is meant to give you the darshan of the Lord. And we cannot, so when we go to temples, that's why we should understand Bhagavad Gita, we should understand Bhagavatam, we should understand these beautiful scriptures that we have, because they reveal the forms of the Lord to us. Otherwise, people go to temples and they're just commenting on ki jo deity hai wo wood ki hai, ya marble ki hai, white marble hai, ya black marble hai, ya ye hai wo hai. They're just stuck on the mundane. So even in the spiritual form of Krishna, they see the material things. But actually, devotee's vision should be such that even in material things, he can see the spirit, the spiritual, the Krishna. He can see Krishna in everything, in all the things that are happening in his life. He can see Krishna's hand, Krishna's arrangements, Krishna's plans unfolding in his life. He can see Krishna's form. So this is the mood of Prabhupada, that he has given us this wonderful form of Krishna, just like Sanjay saw, and we can feel the thrill over and over again. And this is a very, very important topic, actually, the understanding the form of the Lord. Not many people understand the form of the Lord. And in our Sampradaya, form of the Lord is given very, very, बहुत ज़्यादा importance है, because Krishna is a person with whom we want to exchange relationships. We want to serve him. If there is impersonal, if there is no form, nothing, then there is no service. The whole service factor, the whole mercy factor, everything goes away. But when there is a person, there is mercy, there is service, and that's what we want. That's what we relish. And that's what Krishna relishes. He says this over and over again. You come to my dham. Dham ya home is possible only if there is a person, right? How can something blankness, null or voidism can have a home? How can there be an abode? How can Krishna say, come to my abode? So abode ya dham ya home kaise ho sakta hai agar koi person hi nahi hai? So this is not only a person, this is a supreme person, Ishvara, Maheshwara. Krishna says, I am the Maheshwara. Controller of all controllers. That's all I have to share. Any more understandings on this? If you read Bhagavad Gita, when we read next time, you will see how Prabhupada has emphasized on the forms of Krishna over and over again. There is a very wonderful verse in Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita, where Brahmaji is offering prayers to Krishna, he mentions Krishna's form many, many, many times. He mentions the beauty of Krishna's abode, beauty of Krishna's forms many times. He describes it in intricate details. And that's what Krishna is, not some blankness. He says, I'm going to try to remember this verse. Advaitam achyutam anadim anantarupam. Sorry, not this one. Prem anjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadeva hrideshu vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achintaya guna swarupam govindamadi purusham tamham bhajami. So he says, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, that you can only relish Krishna's forms when you put the ointment, anjan, premanjan लगाओगे जब आंखों पे. So when you put the ointment of love and devotion, Prem Anjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, Santa Sadeva Hrideshu Vilokayanti. The Santas, the sages, the great acharyas are able to see the form of Krishna. Which form? Yam Sham Sundaram Achintaya Guna Swarupam. That Achintya, inconceivable form of Sham Sundar, they can see in their heart. So this is the form of Krishna, the Sham Sundar form of Krishna. And there are many other verses. I was last time I shared this with people, with devotees here. One particular moment in my life that gave me Rom Harshan. This was I'll share that verse with you. When I read this verse in one of Prabhupada's purports, it gave me the goosebumps when I read this verse of Brahma Samhita. I clearly remember that day when I read this verse and I was thinking, what is this verse saying? This is amazing. Let me find this verse to you because I want to share that with everyone. So the verse goes like this. I'll share it on the screen. Advaitamachyutam anadim anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tamha Bhajami. When I read this verse, it was in Prabhupada's purport. It was very early part of my reading, like third or fourth chapter. Prabhupada had quoted this verse and he did not quote this again. He quoted this verse in one purport of third or fourth chapter somewhere. And I got that Rom Harshan, this goosebumps. Because before that, I did not have this conception of Lord's forms. He's saying, Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anant Rupam. भगवान का रूप कैसा है? भगवान का रूप है Advaitam, without a second, one without a second. Nobody can have a form like that. It is Achyutam, it cannot decay. It is Anadim, it is without a beginning. And Anant, it is no end and no beginning. Adyam Purana Purusham, from the time immemorial, this person has existed. He's a Purana Purush, meaning he's Adi Purush. He's the most ancient person. He's a supreme person. Yet he is Nav Yobnam. He's always youthful. He's not like biblical scriptures mein aata hai na ki a very old man with white beard. No, he's always Nav Yobnam. Even though he's the oldest, the most ancient person, the source of all sources, the Adi Purush, without any beginning and end. This person is always Nav Yobnam. And you cannot, even people that are perfect in Vedic knowledge cannot understand him sometimes. Vedeshu Durlabham. He's Durlabh to those people who are just, he's inaccessible even to Vedic knowledge, to Vedas. But Adurlabham Atma Bhaktao. But to the pure devotees of the Lord, he's Adurlabham. He makes himself very accessible, very easily reachable, achievable to Adurlabh, to people that are his pure devotees. So that Govinda Adi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. So his forms are very beautiful. Satchidanand form. Then Brahma Samhita has so many verses like that. Chintamani Dham of Krishna has been described. How millions of Lakshmi Jis are serving Krishna in that abode. So many verses are there, and they're very beautiful. And where was Brahma Samhita spoken? Which deities did Brahmaji speak these verses? All this knowledge is given in our scriptures. So when you go deep into it, meditate on it over and over again, it gives you so much thrill, so much joy, and we can relish all this just like Sanjay here, over and over again. Rejoice, go into it over and over again, and you can rejoice over and over. That's all I have to share. Coming to the last verse, and actually one of the most important verses, very beautiful verses. This is actually Navya's favorite verse. I don't know if she's around. she could recite it, or whoever knows this verse, I encourage them to recite it. But let's lead and follow for one time, then we'll recite. 18.78. Yatra yogeshwara krishno, yatra yogeshwara krishno, yatra partho dhanurdhara, yatra partho dhanurdhara, tatra shri vijayo bhutir, tatra shri vijayo bhutir, dhruva nitir matir mama, dhruva nitir mama. Let's recite this a few times because this is a memory verse, and I encourage everyone to remember the first and the last verse of Bhagavad Gita, and I'll connect both of those verses together today. So let's recite. Whoever can, please recite. Whoever knows this by memory also recite, please. Anyone wants to recite?
Mataji, again.
Yes, Praveen.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno.
Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara.
Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara.
Tatra Sri Virjayo Bhuti.
Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhute.
Dhruva Niti Marma.
Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Anyone else? Yes.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno.
Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara.
Yatra
Yatra
Partho
Partho
Dhanurdhara.
Dhanurdhara.
Shri Vijayo Bhutir.
Tatra Shri
Tatra Sri
Vijayo
Vijayo
Bhutir.
Bhutir.
Dhruvam Nitir Matir Mama.
Dhruva
Dhruva
Nitir
Nitir Matir
Mama.
Mama.
Okay, anyone else? Nilveni Mataji, we haven't heard from you. Want to recite this verse? It's very beautiful verse.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama.
Very bold. Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, you remember this verse?
Yeah, we learned Bhagavad Gita from Dakta Peetam. All the so 1
Very
year
cool.
during the Corona started and we joined in the Bhagavad Gita classes.
Very wonderful. I thought you may recite it from memory. That's what I thought. Very bold, very wonderful. And I encourage everyone to remember this. Mama, you want to recite? We cannot hear you. Can you unmute? Yeah.
Yes. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara,
Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara,
Tatra Sarva Vijyo Bhutir,
Tatra Shri
Sri
Vijayo
Vijayo
Bhutir,
Bhutir.
Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama.
Dhruva Nitir
Matir
Matir
Mama.
Mama.
I was trying to write it.
Yeah,
I was trying to write it just to remember it.
sure. I will tell you how to remember this within a minute. Anybody else wants to recite? Sunita Bua or let's see. Shrabni Mataji, anyone else wants to recite? Okay, then let's read the translation. Mama, you want to read?
Whenever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and mortality. That is my opinion. Morality, sorry. That is my opinion. Morality.
Very bold. Okay, thank you for reciting, everyone. So this verse, let's see how it goes. So let's again focus on Sanskrit also a little bit, and we can all memorize it. So yatra means wherever, jahan pe, wherever. There is Yogeshwara Krishno, the master of all mysticism, the master of all yogas, or the master of dharma, basically. Where there is master of yoga, Krishna, yatra Yogeshwara Krishno. Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, and where there is the Parth, Dhanurdhara, the great archer, the supreme archer, Dhanurdhar, Parth or Arjuna. So wherever there is Krishna and wherever there is Arjuna, what happens there? Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir. There, with what things will live? Shri, opulence. Shri means opulence. Vijayo, victory. Bhutir, meaning they will. Bhuti means power. Sorry, Bhuti means power. So opulence, power, and victory. Dhruva, certainly. Nitir, Nitir means morality. So these four things: Shri, opulence; Vijayo, victory; Bhutir, power; Niti is the morality or ethics. So these four things will live there. That's my opinion, Arjun is saying. So let's understand this verse. So if you remember the first verse of Bhagavad Gita, first verse of Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Dhritarashtra, and it was a question. What did Dhritarashtra say in that question? He said, Dhritarashtra uvacha dharam kshetre kurukshetre samveta yuyutsava pandava mamaka pandavascheva kim akurvat sanjaya. So he said, what did Dhritarashtra say? Dharam kshetre kurukshetre, that in the dharam kshetra kurukshetra samveta yuyutsava, after collecting Samveta Yuyutsava Mamaka Pandavascheva, my sons and Pandu's sons, Pandavas, Kim Akurvat Sanjaya, what are they up to? Like what is going on between them? What is going to happen basically? So Dhritarashtra was asking Sanjay that my sons and Pandu's sons have assembled in this Dharam Kshetra, Kurukshetra, in this land that upholds the dharma, the Dharam Kshetra, which means that Kurukshetra is such a land where only dharma can subsist, dharma can persist, dharma can be upheld. Adharma cannot uphold there. Adharma will not stay there. Only dharma can stay. In such a land, in such a dharma kshetra, what are my sons and Pandu's sons doing? Or what are they up to? What will happen between them? So this is the answer that Sanjay is now giving his opinion after hearing the whole Bhagavad Gita. Now Sanjay has made up his mind about what will happen between the two. He's saying that, in my opinion, where there is Krishna, where there is the great devotee, the great archer Arjuna, where both of them are there, only there can be the victory, the opulence, the morality, the ethics, the dharma, the power. Everything can only reside in that place, which means basically that Kauravas have no hope, that they have it's a lost cause, that your defeat is certain and their victory is certain. So he's saying certainly that's where there will be victory. So he's given the conclusion of the war even before the war has started. That in my opinion, O Dhritarashtra, you said what is going on between them. I'm saying that this is that there is no way your sons can win because Krishna and Arjuna, the Lord and the devotee, are not on their side. So wherever there is Bhagwan and wherever there is his devotee, wherever there is the all yogas, all dharma, all that's where all the power, all the victory, all the opulences will reside. So you have no hope of winning this war. So this is a gone case basically for Dhritarashtra. He was still hopeful. Prabhupada keeps saying in purport, if you look at Prabhupada's purport, he says that Dhritarashtra was still hopeful for the victory. He was still hoping against hope. This is the condition of the conditioned souls in this world, that even in old age, even the last minute, we keep hoping against hope, even though we have not done anything to please Krishna in our life. We still keep hoping that we will be victorious, but you've not done anything to please Krishna. When you had a choice between Narayani Sena and Narayan, you chose Narayani Sena, you chose the Maya, you chose the energies of the Lord and not the Lord himself. So if you remember that beautiful pastime, this pastime is arranged in such a way so we can understand the difference between energies of the Lord, Maya of the Lord versus the Lord himself. And if you have a choice and you choose Maya, you choose his energies, but not the Lord himself. You choose Narayani Sena, but not Narayan. And this is what we are doing on a daily basis. We are choosing only Narayani Sena. We are acting like Duryodhan and choosing Narayani Sena. But Arjuna chose Narayan. So if you choose Narayan, then Narayan chooses you. And because he's the source of all sources, he's the cause of all causes. We just heard Sarva Karana Karanam. He's the cause of all causes. Then victory will be with you, because all the victory, all the power, all the opulences, all the ethics, morality, dharma, everything resides within the Supreme Lord, within Krishna, within Narayan. So if you're not choosing him, then you're basically choosing a dharma. Then victory, opulence, all these things cannot reside with you. So, but we are, very conditioned to the material energy. So we keep choosing Maya over and over again, and we are act like Dhritarashtra and keep hoping against hope till the end that we will be victorious. But actually, in this life's journey, also we will not be victorious unless we choose Krishna. Unless in exam of this life, every day we are not making choices for Krishna, we're choosing against Krishna, we're choosing his Maya, his energies, then we are basically acting like Duryodhan. And then opulence, victory, power, even the material life will fail actually. So even material life cannot stand. All our desires will be frustrated. This will be a hopeless case. It's a gone case like Dhritarashtra's here. So, so that's what we need. We need to have Bhagwan in our life, and we need to become a devotee. This is the difference between Dhritarashtra and, having Krishna and devotee on your side versus being a Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is on the side of inferior energy, the lower energy of the Lord. He's being selfish, self-centered, and Krishna and his devotee, they are on the side of superior energy. They are always controlled by the internal energy, the superior energy of the Lord. So they are acting in the way of dharma. And it is said, this is a beautiful saying, I like it a lot. This saying says that finite always rests on infinite, which means that material things always rest on spiritual things. So if your spiritual foundation is strong, if in our life we pay time, attention, and invest time in Krishna and spiritual activities, and our spiritual foundation becomes strong, takes deep roots, then the material building can form on it. Then the finite material existence can be glorious on it. But if our foundation is weak, if our infinite, which is supposed to be the basis of everything, spiritual is supposed to be the basis, if that's not intense, that's not deep, that's not big platform, then everything else that rests on it will also be very shallow, very temporary, and quickly fall down. It will be asat, it will be small, it will be material. Whereas if we build a building on top of a very strong, solid foundation of internal, of eternal potency of Krishna, then building of material structure will also be strong. तो इसलिए आपकी material life में भी अगर आपको victory चाहिए, opulence चाहिए, power चाहिए, morality and ethics चाहिए, even then you need to surrender to Krishna. Even then you need to have Krishna on your side. So, so devotees, devotees, it is said in case of this whole war of Mahabharata, it is said that dharma, dharmo rakshati rakshita, कि जो धर्म की रक्षा करता है, धर्म उसकी रक्षा करता है. धर्मो रक्षति रक्षिता. Whoever protects dharma, dharma protects them. So we should remember that and follow the path of dharma. Follow the path where we can inculcate Krishna in our life. That is a path of dharma. Then ethics, power, morality, victory, opulences all come. And devotees have this confidence that if we protect dharma, if we invest time in Krishna, Krishna will protect us. So जो आपकी material life है, that will also be protected by Krishna, because Krishna has promised in Bhagavad Gita that I will protect you. So dharmo rakshati rakshita. That if you protect dharma, if you work in favor of Krishna, then Krishna will also protect you. So devotees have this confidence. Just Prahlad Maharaj, he had this confidence that if I'm just completely surrendered to Krishna, to Vishnu, to Vasudev's name, then he will protect me. So we should have this confidence that when we choose Krishna, Krishna will also choose us. So when we give him priority, make him the center of our life, then everything else falls in place, both material and spiritual actually. This is called being Krishna confident. Devotees have this philosophy called being Krishna confident. So we should be Krishna confident that if we are choosing Krishna, he will also choose us. That's all I have to share from this verse. I like this verse, this is like an insurance policy for devotees, that if you have Krishna in your life, then you will have all these things. हम इतनी सारी insurance policies लेते हैं, right? But you're given this insurance policy from the most powerful person in the world. He's our best friend. He's the supreme person. He's the source of all powers, all opulences. He's ready to become our guide, our friend, our maintainer. So Arjun was very smart. That's why he did not choose Narayani Sena. He said, I just need you. Even though you don't fight, I just need your guidance. You be my best friend. You drive my chariot. I give you the reins of my chariot in your hands. सो जब किसी के पास इतने बड़े आदमी के का हाथ है उसके सर पे, he is your maintainer, he is your guide, he is your best friend, and he's making these promises over and over again, then actually all success, all victory is yours. You'll succeed in all endeavors. Actually, it's the investment that gives the maximum returns. Okay, we'll stop here. Congratulations to everybody for finishing Bhagavad Gita last verse. Please ask any questions, any realizations, reflections. Sometimes people say, for their kids, they will ask, they're too young to read Bhagavad Gita, they're too young to follow this path, they will miss out on things, they will miss out on material things, huh? What if they are not successful in their career or college life or exams or things because they're doing this? But that's not possible. It's not possible to fail in material life when you follow this process as it is, as Prabhupada has given it to us, as Krishna has given it to us. It's not possible to fail even in your material life, actually, because spiritual life is the foundation of material life. So if we should not have this doubt ever that if we give this path to our kids, that they will fail, they will actually succeed, and what an amazing way they will succeed. They'll be victorious, just like Arjuna is being victorious here. Even before the war is started, they will be declared victorious. Even before their life starts, they will be declared victorious. We should give this to our kids. And just like last one thing is, please read Bhagavad Gita. Please make this the way of your life. This is a way of our life. Bhagavad Gita is not just something you do for culture or for tradition or just for philosophy or for friendships or no. Bhagavad Gita is much bigger than that. Bhagavad Gita is a way of life. We have to apply it in our life. It should become our prime occupation. And that is another measure to judge yourself. By reading this Bhagavad Gita, am I getting closer to Krishna or am I going away from Krishna? Is my goal of life changing now by reading Bhagavad Gita? Krishna has become my goal of life. If with each passing day you're getting closer and closer to Krishna by following this process, then the process is successful. That's the success of this process, the Bhagavad Gita, that you're getting closer and closer to Krishna with each passing day in your life. So this is another way to judge. Am I getting closer or am I getting farther away? If you're getting closer, then it's a success. Then you're doing something right. So this is not a time pass. This is not something we do just once here and there. Try to make this the prime goal, prime occupation of life. This is our dharma. Dharma means our prime occupation. In that mood, read Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Anybody else? Thank you, Nirbhay Prabhu, for your nice message. You want to share anything?
Hare Krishna, Devotional to all devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Can everyone hear him? Can you speak loud?
Hare Krishna. Devotional to all devotees.
You can
Thank you. Just wanted to thank you, all the devotees for regularly attending these sessions and classes. And I know today a lot of our usual devotees are also not here because it's New Year's Eve and a lot of people are traveling. But again, also wanted to thank just Natasha, because I know she has put in a lot of dedication, a lot of perseverance, and be it any, she's post call at time and still giving these class after 24 hours working in the hospital and everything. So just wanted to thank her from the heart, because it's not easy to be that regular. So many times it has happened during these years that I've missed the class and chosen different priorities or things. But she's always there with video on, dedicated and sitting and preparing before the class and doing the class. So really want to. I know how much time and dedication has gone into this. So thank you very much for doing this. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Reverend Prabhu.
And
Yeah.
thank you, Prabhuji and Mataji, for giving your time. I'm inconsistent, but I will try to be consistent. That would be my next year goal in the Bhagavad Gita classes or whatever classes you conduct. And last year I think one thing I've done, like I started chanting the malas. Like I'm not able to do 16, but I'm doing 1 or 2 every day. That I'm doing consistently, and hope that will bring me closer to Krishna consciousness. That's
That's very wonderful. That's wonderful that you started chanting. Um, my one suggestion would be, if possible, try to keep Ekadashi. So they are like Madhav Tithis, and they are special days where we get special blessings from Krishna. To actually, it gives us more spiritual prowess, more spiritual strength. So try to. So have you heard about Ekadashis? Or
I'm doing here and there. I'm not being consistent on that as well. So I heard of that. My wife does sometime, I do sometimes. So we usually
whenever possible, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that all the time necessarily if you can't, but
Yeah.
at least if you try to increase the number of them, that will give you a lot of spiritual strength so that we can get better and more consistent in our practices.
Thank you. I have no qualification to perform this service, but by mercy of Guru, by mercy of many devotees, by cooperation from Nirbhay Prabhu and other family members, able to perform this service. So I heartily thank them. There is a very beautiful song which says, this is in dedication to all our seniors that have facilitated this. It says, Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite paro, tomara shakati ache. Amito kangal, Krishna Krishna boli, dhaitava pache pache. So which means that Krishna is yours and you have the power to give him to me. So, and I'm Kangal, but by saying Krishna, Krishna, I'm running behind you. So that's what, it's all their mercy, and we are made of mercy. We have no qualification to perform any devotional service. I just know that if you get a service, you should latch on to it and just not take it cheaply, never take it cheaply. So Harinam that we have been given, not take it cheaply and sincerely chant it. Whenever we get option to go to temple or eat prasadam or hear Harikatha or read Harikatha, read Prabhupada's books, we should not take those opportunities cheaply. Because think about the day when we're leaving our body. Think about the day when you're laying like Bhishma Pitama, ready to leave, or like Parikshit Maharaj. What will go with you? This is the only thing that will go with you. And you will not remember the times you spend at work, or people at work, or money you made, or stock market, and or a house you lived in. None of those things. You will only care about how much Harikatha I heard and read, and how much I glorified Krishna, and how much names I chanted, and how much Ekadashi I kept, and how much prasadam I ate, and what temples I went to. Only those things are going forward with you. Only those things. Nothing else is going forward with you. So there should be that solace, the day that we leave our body, and that day can be any day. So we should. It's not like we live in fear of death, but we live with that consciousness that time is very short and running very quickly. So always have that foundation, that solace, that if I die today, अगर आज मृत्यु आ जाए तो कोई problem नहीं, कोई दुख नहीं, because I did all this. So with that motivation, with that inspiration, with that solace, we should be able to leave the body. So with that strength, we should chant the holy names. Ki if I leave today or tomorrow, I won't have any regrets. So people make bucket lists, but this should be our bucket list, so that there is no regret. All right. With that, we'll stop. Please chant Hare Krishna. You want to chant right now? We'll chant one round. Whoever wants to stay, please stay. Otherwise, we'll stop the call recording. Thank you everyone for joining. Vancha kaltarubhishcha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. पूर्वे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथ राज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। And wish you very happy new year 2024 ki jai. Thank you everyone. All glories, all glories, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna.